Referee Colin High glances at his watch. In fact, the play has come to a conclusion, and France, the favourites to win, have done so indeed, 16 points to 9, but not in the manner to which they had been expected, with Wales testing them the whole way. Indeed, Wales were never behind in the match until 33 minutes had been played in the second half. 16 points to 9 as France now turn their sights to Twickenham, and Wales wait to meet England as well in a month's time.
So there's how the championship looks after today's first two games. And just to repeat, England failing to score in the Home International Championship for the first time in 21 years. And those are the two matches that come up in a fortnight's time. We, of course, will cover them for you here on Grandstand. Now, later on this evening, after we've rounded up all the day's football information for you, European Figure Skating Championships from Sarajevo, the ladies' free programme. That's at 5 p.m. on BBC1. Now, let's give you the latest football information that we have. And with Arsenal playing tomorrow against Tottenham in the Littlewoods Cup, it could be that Everton will go top tonight of the First Division. In fact, it's very likely. They lead Coventry City by 3-1. Although Cyril Regis scored first for Coventry, Gary Stevens scored on half-time for Everton. Trevor Stephen got a penalty just inside the second half. And Adrian Heath has now scored again for Everton, so it's 3-1 there. And north of the border, listen to this, Heart of Midlothian, unbeaten at home in 32 matches spread over 2 seasons, are 5-1 down at home to Rangers. Graham Souness has got amongst the goals for his club Rangers today. Well, now we'll be back with the football in a minute, but first 1 or 2 racing results coming up for you now.
Well, before 4 o'clock, first number 7, Dark Ivy, 11-1. Second number 4, Durham Edition, 8-1. Third number 8, Jimbrook, 4-1.
Well, that was pretty quick on the racing results, wasn't it? Here now some more football scores that have been coming in, and nothing going right for Aston Villa in the First Division. They're bottom, of course, and they're 1-0 down at home to Queen's Park Rangers. And Martin Keown seems to be making a speciality of own goals, unfortunately for him at the moment. Own goal, Queen's Park Rangers leading there 1-0. 0-0, Charlton, Manchester United, and Brian Robson had a penalty saved by Charlton keeper Bob Boulder. It was awarded for a foul on Jesper Olsen, but 0-0 at the moment. Chelsea leading Sheffield Wednesday by 2-0. Mickey Hazard from the penalty spot, and Laurie Madden an own goal there. Leicester City 3, Wimbledon 1 is the latest score we have. Alan Smith, Paul Ramsey with 2. Carlton Fairweather has scored there for Wimbledon. Newcastle 2, Luton Town 2. I should tell you, these are not final scores. They're latest scores. Ashley Grimes and Tim Breaker for Luton Town, Peter Jackson and Paul Goddard for Newcastle United. Now, that video printer will be starting shortly with the final scores. 1 or 2 rugby scores first, though.
International match, Ireland 17, England 0. France 16, Wales 9. The B International, Scotland 9, France 15. The Merit Table A, London Scottish 12, Leicester 12. B Table, Headingley 19, Richmond 3. London Welsh 10, Gosforth 9. The club matches, Aberavon and Newbridge Lake kick-off, Birmingham 9, Torquay 18, Boroughmuir 17, Edinburgh Academicals 7, Gala 41, Fyle 22, Harlequins 39, Met Police 6, Heriots former pupils and Ayr, Jed Forest and Hoyk, and Kelso and Middlesbrough all late kick-offs. Liverpool St Helens 12, Sale 8.
Let's switch to the video printer because the football scores are going through now. Rochdale 0, Orient 0. I take it. Reading 2, Plymouth 0. Trevor Senior with both goals. Mansfield 1, Bury 3 in Division 3. Scottish Premier, Dundee United 2, Falkirk 1. Scottish 1, Montrose 3, Quinn of the South 0. Division 3, Blackpool 1, Swindon 1. Promotion hopefuls both. Scottish Premier, Clydebank 1, Dundee 1. Division 2, Stoke 3, Crystal Palace 1. Stoke bottom in November, haven't been beaten since. Promotion hopefuls indeed. Scottish 2, Berwick 0, Albion 1. And Division 3, Chester 2, Bournemouth 2. Now, Bournemouth was second on goal difference to Middlesbrough, so they could go top. Depends on what Middlesbrough have done at home today. Division 1, West Ham 0, Oxford United 1. Oxford's first away victory in 5 months. David Leeworthy with the all-important goal there. Just to repeat, Everton look like going top of the First Division tonight. 3-1 leaders against Coventry City, the last we heard. Scottish 2, Ayr 3, Stirling 1. Vauxhall Local League, and some of these are on the pools today. Hayes 0, Bishop Stortford 0. Scottish Premier now. Hamilton, who had such a good cup win last week, 0, Hibs 1. They can do it against Rangers in the cup. They can't do it at home to Hibs. Scottish 2, Queen's Park 1, Alloa 1. Division 3 now. Bristol City 5, Doncaster 0. Good points for City, not out of the promotion hunt. Division 3, Brentford 3, Carlisle 1. Well, that's the first home win for some time for Brentford. Steve Perryman in charge these days. Division 4, Peterborough 1 and Wrexham 0. Now Division 1, Leicester look like having a win today. Leicester 3, Wimbledon 1. Division 1, Watford 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Barnes scored early there for Watford after 2 minutes, but Forest came back. Birtles. GM Conference, Kidderminster 3 and Gateshead 1. 4 score draws on your coupons so far. Scottish 2 now. Wraith the leaders 1, Stenhousemuir 0. Scottish Premier, Celtic. Home win 3. Celtic 3, St Mirren 0. Mo Johnson amongst the goal scorers there today. Division 2, Hull 1, Oldham 0. Nothing going right for Oldham at the moment. Slipping. They're in 3rd spot and Hull going well. Division 1, Chelsea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Mickey Hazard set them on their way from the penalty spot. The other was an own goal. Now, Everton 3, Coventry 1. Everton go top of the league tonight. Heath got their 3rd goal. Regis had scored first for Coventry. Scottish 2, East Stirling 1, Arbroath 2. GM Conference, Weymouth 2, Altrincham 2. I think Everton are the 7th different club to lead the 1st Division, but of course Arsenal dominated it for most of the season. Brighton 0, Sunderland 3. Nothing going right for Brighton at the moment. 16th and 15th respectively, those clubs. Division 4, Exeter 1, Crewe 0. Exeter unbeaten at home. Division 1, Newcastle 2, Luton 2. Luton coming from behind there for the point. They led 1-0, then Newcastle 2-1, 2-2 final score. Scottish 1, Dunfermline 1, Airdrie 1. Dunfermline held at home, they're the leaders. Division 4, Hereford 0, Southend 1. Southend beaten at home in midweek. 3 good away points there because Hereford have been going well. Division 4, Scunthorpe 2, Aldershot 0. And Division 3, York 2, Gillingham 1. Gillingham were 3rd. Division 2, Bradford 4, Grimsby 2. Bradford finding their goal touch. If they keep that up, they'll be moving away from the relegation positions. Division 4 now, Torquay 1, Cambridge United 0. 2nd win in a row for Torquay, that's rare. Scottish 1, Dumbarton 1, East Fife 1. 4th and 3rd. Scottish 1, Partick 0, Brechin 0. And Division 2 now, Sheffield United. It will be United in a minute. 0. Leeds 0. All Yorkshire match. Point apiece. Division 2, Huddersfield 2. West Brom 1. West Brom still haven't won in 1987. Huddersfield might move off bottom place with those 3 points. Score draws so far 7. So we have new leaders of Division 1. Still got to see what Portsmouth have done today at Ipswich in Division 2. Division 4, Rochdale 0, Orient 0. I thought we saw that one right at the beginning. Rochdale bottom of Division 4 and will remain there with Torquay having won. Division 2 now. Well, I could have sworn we've seen that one before as well. Has the thing gone mad? I don't know. Stafford 2, Frickley 0, we hadn't seen before. Or Enfield 2, Cheltenham 2. Division 3 now. Bolton 3, Fulham 2. Scottish 1, Forfar 3, and Morton 3. Still want to know whether we've got different leaders in Division 3. We haven't seen the Middlesbrough final score, I don't believe, as these GM Conference final scores go through. Now Division 1, Aston Villa 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Martin Keown own goal, I'm afraid. That's 2 I think he's got this week. Division 4, Halifax 1, Preston 3. Preston 3rd and going well for promotion. Aston Villa remain rooted at the bottom of Division 1. Vauxhall Local League, this is on the pools. Bognor 0, Barking 2. Scottish Premier now, Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 0. And Division 4, Lincoln, useful recently, Lincoln 0, Cardiff 1. Cardiff's first victory of 87, I believe. Division 1, Southampton 1 now, Cockerell the scorer, but Norwich 2. Cockerell 3 goals this week, but they drop home points today. Scottish Cup, St Johnstone 4, Whitehill Welfare, the amateur side 0. So they go out. Let's hear how Everton went top of the league tonight. 3-1 home victory over Coventry. Gerald Sinstadt now reporting.
Everton go top of the table and deserve the credit that Coventry, with their thoughtful, controlled football, earned the sympathy. They took an early lead when Cyril Regis capitalised on a mistake by Dave Watson, but the game turned cruelly on each side of half-time. First, a Gary Stevens shot was deflected to leave Ibrizovic on the wrong side of his goal. Then Lloyd McGrath put his hand up in the area, and the penalty, hard but just, was smacked home by Trevor Stevens. And Adrian Heath scored the third. Everton had a comfortable lead that Neville Southall protected with a stupendous save from Nick Pickering. And then the final injury for Coventry. McGrath was booked and will miss the fifth round FA Cup tie at Stoke.
I think he's got one of those portable phones. Everton go top. There's confirmation by a point, although Arsenal, of course, will have a game in hand, as indeed so do Liverpool. Now, let's have the classified check.
League Division 1. Aston Villa 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Manchester United 2, Chelsea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Everton 3, Coventry City 1, Leicester City 3, Wimbledon 1, Newcastle United 2, Luton Town 2, Southampton 1, Norwich City 2, Watford 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham United 0, Oxford United 1. And League Division 2. Barnsley against Millwall is a late kick-off. Also Blackburn Rovers against Shrewsbury Town. Bradford City 4, Grimsby Town 2. And there's the Blackburn Rovers Shrewsbury result. Blackburn Rovers 2, Shrewsbury Town 1. Bradford City 4, Grimsby Town 2. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Sunderland 3. Derby County 2, Birmingham City 2. Huddersfield Town 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. Hull City 1, Oldham Athletic 0. Ipswich Town 0, Portsmouth 1. Reading 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. Sheffield United 0, Leeds United 0. Stoke City 3, Crystal Palace 1. And League Division 3. Blackpool 1, Swindon Town 1. Bolton Wanderers 3, Fulham 2. Brentford 3, Carlisle United 1. Bristol City 5, Doncaster Rovers 0. Chester City 2, Bournemouth 2. Mansfield Town 1, Bury 3. Middlesbrough 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Newport County against Darlington, match postponed. Notts County 4, Port Vale 1. Rotherham United 0, Chesterfield 1. Walsall against Wigan Athletic, late kick-off. York City 2, Gillingham 1. League Division 4, Exeter City 1, Crewe Alexandra 0. Halifax Town 1, Preston North End 2. Hereford United 0, Southend United 1. Lincoln City 0, Cardiff City 1. Peterborough United 1, Wrexham 0. Rochdale 0, Orient 0. Scunthorpe United 2, Aldershot 0. Torquay United 1, Cambridge United 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Stockport County 1. The Vauxhall Conference, Dagenham 3, Runcorn 2. Enfield 2, Cheltenham Town 2. Kidderminster Harriers 3, Gateshead 1. Northwich Victoria 1, Telford United 0. Nuneaton Borough 1, Barnet 3. Scarborough 0, Maidstone United 0. Stafford Rangers 2, Frickley Athletic 0. Wealdstone 0, Boston United 4. Welling United 1, Bath City 1. Weymouth 2, Altrincham 2. The Fine Fair Scottish League Premier Division. Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 0. Celtic 3, St Mirren 0. Clydebank 1, Dundee 1. Dundee United 2, Falkirk 1. Hamilton Academical 0. Hibernian 1. Heart of Midlothian 2. Rangers 5. Scottish League Division 1. Dumbarton 1, East Fife 1. Dunfermline Athletic 1, Erionians 1. Forth Athletic 3, Morton 3. Kilmarnock 1, Clyde 1. Montrose 3, Queen of the South 0. Partick Thistle 0, Brecon City 0. In the Scottish League Division 2, Ayr United 3, Stirling Albion 1. Berwick Rangers 0, Albion Rovers 1. East Stirlingshire 1, Arbroath 2. Meadowbank Thistle 1, Cowdenbeath 0. Queen's Park 1, Alloa 1. Wraith Rovers 1, Stenhousemuir 0. In the third round of the Scottish FA Cup, St Johnstone 4, Whitehill Welfare 0. In today's other matches, on the coupon, remember, Bognor Regis 0, Barking 2, Bromley 4, Worthing 3. Hayes 0, Bishop Stortford 0. St Albans City 3, Wokingham Town 1. Slough Town 2, Hendon 1. Windsor and Eton 1, Dulwich Hamlet 1.
I've never liked computers, you know. Don't trust them. We got one wrong there in the First Division. If you're a Manchester United fan, you'll know exactly how wrong, because the actual score should be Charlton 0, Manchester United 0. We gave it as 1-2, a computer fault, I'm afraid. Charlton 0, Manchester United 0, definite score, because Brian Robson had a penalty saved in that match today. Just confirm the top of Division 1 then. Everton, the new leaders, by a point. Arsenal not playing today. Neither Liverpool. But Forest did play, and they got a point away to Watford in a 1-1 draw. David Davis now reporting.
The suspicion remains Forest lack the strength in depth to launch a serious championship challenge. They were behind almost before Brian Clough had sat down, their defence allowing John Barnes a free header he directed to perfection. And Watford, for much of that first half, ran Forest ragged. There's a delight, you know, in the style of Graham Taylor's side, the directness too, with much to admire in the performances today of Bardsley and Richardson, as well as Blissett and, of course, John Barnes. But Forest having a much better second half. Birtles got the strangest of equalisers after getting in the way of Boyer's shot originally, and despite the hint of offside. Both sides had the chances to clinch 3 points before the end, but Forest's form, 2 wins in 11 now, isn't that of championship challengers.
Now, we have a late kick-off result for you. In fact, 2 of them. League Division 2, Barnsley 1, Millwall 0. Division 3, Walsall 2, Wigan 3. Both on the pools, and it means 11 score draws, 5 no-score draws. Telephone claims, well, no decision yet, they tell us. Here are the numbers. Score draws: 5, 9, 16, 20, 40, 43, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 57. Remarkable sequence there in a row. And the no-score draws: 2, 14, 32, 37, and 52. So those are the pools. Now we can complete some rugby union results for you.
Club matches: Aberafton and Newbridge is still a late result, but Birmingham 9, Torquay 18, Boroughmuir 17, Edinburgh Academicals 7, Gala 41, Fylde 22, Harlequins 39, Met Police 6, Heriot's former pupils 31, Ayr 10, Jet Forest 33, Hoyk 23, Kelso and Middlesbrough, still a result we're waiting for, Liverpool St Helens 12, Sale 8. Manchester and Sheffield, still a late result, Melrose 47, Durham City 9, New Brighton 4, West Hartlepool 36. Club matches: Aberafton and Newbridge is still a late result, but Birmingham 9, Torquay 18, Boroughmuir 17, Edinburgh Academicals 7, Gala 41, Fylde 22, Harlequins 39, Met Police 6, Heriot's former pupils 31, Ayr 10, Jet Forest 33, Hoyk 23, Kelso and Middlesbrough, still a result we're waiting for, Liverpool St Helens 12, Sale 8. Manchester and Sheffield, still a late result, Melrose 47, Durham City 9, New Brighton 4, West Hartlepool 36, Nottingham 62, Northern 7, Orrell 39, Broughton Park 9, Roundhay 72, Wilmslow 0, Rugby 27, Weston-super-Mare 16. Club matches: Aberafton and Newbridge is still a late result, but Birmingham 9, Torquay 18, Boroughmuir 17, Edinburgh Academicals 7, Gala 41, File 22. Harlequins 39, Met Police 6. Heriot's former pupils 31, Air 10. Jet Forest 33, Hoyk 23. Kelso and Middlesbrough, still a result we're waiting for. Liverpool St Helens 12, Sale 8. Manchester and Sheffield, still a late result. Melrose 47, Durham City 9. New Brighton 4, West Hartlepool 36. Nottingham 62, Northern 7. Oral 39, Broughton Park 9. Roundhay 72, Wilmslow 0. Rugby 27, Weston-super-Mare 16. Stewarts and Melbourne former pupils 15, Glasgow Academicals 3. Vale of Loon 15, Bedford 3.
Let's repeat the scores in international matches for you today. France beat Wales 16-9, and Ireland, well, they beat England by 17 points to 0. Let's hear from the Irish coach, Mick Doyle.
Mick, you can't have expected that type of game because you couldn't have expected those type of conditions.
Not really, no. We were trying to, last night I remember saying to Paul Dean at dinner time, go away with the backs and decide if it's wet, what we're going to do, if it's windy, what we're going to do, if it's dry, what we're going to do, and have your options, right? And we decided if it's wet, okay, and it wasn't handled with, we'd try and play it in their half as much as possible. You know, I think any team would do that. But we weren't prepared for that kind of thing. You know, in training you can't simulate it when it's not raining. And we've had very dry weather, but it was super. I think that they got the grips with it very well, and they got the old Irish fire back, rather than being, you know, very clinical and what have you. They got going and they got in among them and kept them running.
I would think that the word adapting will figure large in your lexicon after this one.
And I was happy they went through that and they got that kind of weather and that kind of conditions because they had to get a grips with it. They did adapt, and they were starting to use it in the end. You know, I was very happy.
So now going in to the second match with a 17-point win under the belt, that's got to be good for morale.
Yes, it has. I think that showed a lot of work had to be done out there that we hadn't done in practice. You know what I mean? To adapt to different circumstances, and I think that can do nothing but to give the team a lot more confidence that they can react to different things.
He's had a good day, hasn't he? One piece of boxing news: in Atlantic City, America's Mark Breland won the vacant WBA welterweight title when he stopped South Africa's Harold Volbrecht in 2 minutes 7 seconds of the 7th round. That's part of the welterweight title that Hunnigan gave up. They'll meet eventually. Well, now, the day's headlines. And Everton are the new First Division leaders, taking over from Arsenal, who'd been top dogs since November the 15th. Adrian Heath made sure with Everton's third in the 3-1 win over Coventry. At the wrong end of the table, Newcastle draw 2-2 with Luton, but they stay bottom. In Division 2, Portsmouth increased their lead to 7. Mike Kiernan gets 9 of the points, including the first try, as Ireland thrash England 17-0 in Dublin. England failed to score for the first time in 21 years. And that Swiss Miss Erika Hess wins the women's slalom for Switzerland's 8th gold medal out of 9 in the World Ski Championships. 10:45 tonight, you can really watch a little television. Cricket, England against Australia in the World Series Cup. You can watch it all night, and these are the men who'll take you through the night.
And it goes straight, and straight over Ken McClay's head. Well over. Beautiful shot.
Graham Dilly. Bowled him off the inside edge.
There she goes again, beautifully played. Hit with tremendous power and timing. A delight to watch David Gower in this sort of form.
That's down the ground, back goes Broad for it, and takes it. That's a crucial catch.
The ball in, and so Gladstone Small has struck for England.
It's in the air, De Freitas comes around, two fielders onto it, they're hugging each other, and in the end, De Freitas takes it. And that's gone, caught behind.
Well, that's a lovely shot. Into the gap on the offside and down towards that boundary.
Embry. Oh, and what a magnificent catch.
There it goes, it's in the gap, it's going over towards the boundary, it's 4 runs and Lamb pulls up a miraculous victory.